ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ॐ श्री महागणपतये नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ श्रीमेधा दक्षिणामूर्तिस्वामिने नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्धदामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Om. So, namaste once again, everyone.
Namaste, Guruji.
So, today I propose to complete the 10th chapter. Of course, I will try to finish it on time, but if I take a few more minutes, please bear with me. Okay. Then next class, we will go for summary of the 10th chapter. Okay. Okay, now let us chant the 36th mantra, which we were discussing in the last class. Dhyutam chalayatamasmi
Yutam chalayatamasmi
तेजस्तेजस्विनामहम्
तेजस्तेजस्विनामहम्
जयोस्मि व्यवसायोस्मि
जयोस्मि व्यवसायोऽस्मि
सत्वं सत्त्ववतामहम्।
सत्त्वं तत्त्वमतामहम्.
Good. So in this shloka, Lord Krishna lists a few more of his glories. And he says that among all the deceitful activities, sinful activities, is the game of gambling. He perhaps considers it as a glory because it was gambling which made Dharmaputra lose his kingdom, and even his brothers and wife, even wife Draupadi. So we have to understand that glory of the gambling is that it is the worst form of sin. And the message for us is to totally avoid indulging it, even for fun. Then he says, Tejas Tejas Vinamaham. I am the brilliance, the intelligence among all intelligent or brilliant people. And what do we mean by intelligence? It is the Viveka Shakti, discriminating faculties. which are fully functional. So this person, he does not get carried away by emotional temptations. He distinguishes between what is right and wrong, and he always chooses the right. And that is a special glory in all human beings, especially human beings who are, the brilliant people, as we say. So that brilliance, Krishna says, I am. Then towards the end of the last class, we were discussing Jayosmi, Vyavasayosmi, Sattvam, Sattvavatamaha. I am the Sattva Guna in Sattvic people, which represents spiritual inclination. And this spiritual inclination expresses itself in the form of Vyavasaya. Vyavasaya means effort. The effort required for the fulfillment of spiritual desire. And when the spiritual inclination is accompanied by the right type and amount of effort, success or victory is assured. And not only in the spiritual field, but even in materialistic world, etc. Achievement of whatever goal we set, it requires the rajasic inclination and also the required effort for success. And therefore, the inclination, effort, and success are all links of a chain. So here the word Vyavasaya has simply put means prayatna, effort, industry, perseverance. And industry as the character of the mind. We normally say, no, he is a very industrious person. That perseverance or effort is called Vyavasaya. And once there is Vyavasaya or spiritual effort, what it will lead to? Jayosmi. Jaya means victory, success. Now look at the reverse order of the verse. Sattva guna to Vyavasaya to Jaya. Spiritual inclination to means the spiritual effort, then spiritual effort to the spiritual success or victory. And Krishna says, all of them I am. And from this, what is the lesson? If we get spiritual success, we should not become arrogant because of that. If we achieve our materialistic goals, we should remain humble. And even if we come out victorious in any conflict or dispute, like, winning a court case, a long-standing court case, we should remember that it is all because of the grace of the Lord only. One should not forget that. One should remember all the time. Every step forward we take is because of the push of Ishvara Anugraha. The pull of free will should be backed by the push of Ishvara Anugraha. And therefore, free will and grace should go hand in hand. Now, next sloka. You can unmute. Vrishninam Vasudevosmi.
वृष्णीनां वासुदेवोऽस्मि
Me,
Pandavanam Dhananjaya.
पाण्डवानां धनञ्जयः
Muninamapyaham Vyasah.
मुनीनां
Vyasah,
Kavinamushana Kavihi.
Vinam
उशना
Ushana
कविः
Kavihi.
So the Anvaya is Vasudeva Asmi Vrishninam. Dhananjaya Pandavanam. Aham Vyasah Muninam Api Ushana Kavihi Kavinam. Vasudevah Asmi. I am Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva. Vasudevasya apatyam puman Vasudevah. Vrishni Nam, among the Vrishnis. Vrishnis are a clan of Kshatriyas. Aham Dhananjaya, I am Arjuna. Dhananjaya literally means a conqueror of riches. Pandavanam, among the Pandavas. Then Aham Vyasa, I am Vyasa. Muninam, among the sages. Api Ushana Kavihi, I am sage Shukracharya. Kavinam, among the seers. So here Krishna says, I am Krishna among the Vrishnis, I am Arjuna among the Pandavas, I am Vyasa among the sages, and I am sage Shukracharya among the seers. Vrishni Nam means among the descendants of Vrishni Vamsha. Vrishni Vamsha is also known as Yadu Vamsha or the Yadava Vamsha, to which Krishna belonged. Therefore, among the descendants of Vrishni Vamsha, Krishna says, I am myself, I am Vasudeva. So Vasudeva means Vasudevasya putra, Devaki putra. I am Lord Krishna. And that is why, one of the names of Lord Krishna is Varshneya. In fact, this name we have seen in Gita itself elsewhere. Varshneya means Vrishni Vamsha Sabudbhuta hai. The one who is born in a Vrishni Vamsha. And why does Krishna himself claims that he himself is the greatest among Vrishnis? Funny, isn't it? It's like saying, that I remember, there was this wrestler called Muhammad Ali, and he used to say, I am the greatest. So similarly, here Krishna is saying, I am the greatest. So one reason is that Krishna himself is the avatar of the Lord, and which he knows. As we saw in the 4th chapter itself, he says, I am Avatara. So he is not a mortal Jiva. He is Ishwara Avatara Purusha. Then the next question comes. There are so many avatars. Rama Avatara, Kurma Avatara, so many avatars. At least among the so many avatars, Dashavatara are popular. But Dashavatara are not the only avatars of Lord Vishnu. Therefore, why should we say Krishna Avatara is the most glorious among them? Then we can give several reasons. But according to many scholars, the primary reason for the glory of Krishna Avatara is in Krishna Avatara alone, the Lord functions as Brahma Vidya Acharya, a liberating perceptor. In all other avatars, it was, a battle between dharma, dharma. Lord destroy asuras and also the all the adharmic people and disappeared. But in Krishna Avatara alone, right from childhood, he has not only destroyed the asuras, Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. So, asuras like Kamsa, etc., he has destroyed. But Later on, he has become the Brahma Vidya Acharya. Not only for Arjuna, through Arjuna to all of us, to the entire world. And that is why Krishna's teaching of the Bhagavad Gita is considered one of the three main textbooks of Vedanta Shastra. In fact, in Vedanta Shastra, we have got so many numerous textbooks, maybe thousands or even lakhs. And among all the Vedanta Shastra Granthas, three are considered to be the pillars of Vedanta. They are called Prasthanatrayam. So any mumukshu, whether he studies any other text or not, this Prasthanatrayam is a must. Unless you complete Prasthanatrayam, your Vedantic learning is not complete. This Prasthanatrayam is the foundation Grantha. And what are they? Trayam means three. One is Upanishads called Shruti Prasthana. Second one is Bhagavad Gita called Smriti Prasthana. And the third one is Brahma Sutras, the Nyaya Prasthana. So Shruti, Smriti and Nyaya. The text based on these three is called Prasthana Trayam. And therefore, among the three pillar Vedantic texts, one of them is Bhagavad Gita and the Acharya is Krishna. And that is why, even after millennia, Bhagavad Gita is alive and kicking in the 21st century also. Classes are being conducted all over the world. And it is said that this Grantha, Bhagavad Gita, has been translated into 80 plus languages globally, including extensive translations into major European, Asian, regional, Indian languages, etc. So even now, people are keen to attend Bhagavad Gita classes, indicating that the teachings are even now fresh, valid, and relevant. It is not an obsolete textbook. It's a valid teaching, and it has the capacity to transform one's life and take the spiritual path leading to moksha. And since Krishna is the Gita Acharya, naturally, he is the greatest one, and there is no harm. Based on all this, if Krishna says that I am the greatest among all avatars, among the Vrishnis, then immediately he follows with Pandavanam Dhananjaya. Among the Pancha Pandavas, I am Arjuna. As we know, another name for Arjuna is Dhananjaya. So since, after Krishna says, I am great, Krishna is now telling Arjuna, you are also great. We should not think that Krishna is saying this to please Arjuna or to flatter Arjuna. Because here he is playing the role of an Acharya. Right from 2nd chapter, 11th verse onwards, Krishna is no longer Arjuna's friend. He is the teacher, Acharya, Guru of Arjuna. Of course, he needs to encourage the student. And when he praises the student, it should be based on facts. And why is Arjuna the greatest? And why can't Dharmaputra? Because he is the eldest one, isn't it? And also he is the embodiment of Dharma. So why should Arjuna be taken as the greatest one? The answer is again very simple. If Gita is the greatest Shastra, Arjuna being the first receiver of the Gita Shastra, as we saw in Dhyana Shloka, Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogda Gopala Nandana. Then Partho Vatsa comes, isn't it? So Arjuna is the first one to get Gita Shastram, and that too directly from Bhagavan. Parthaya pratibodhitam bhagavata Narayanena swayam. Every class we chant right in the beginning. And in this class and so many other, everybody gets Bhagavad, this Gita Shastram, only second hand or third hand teaching from local gurus. But Arjuna got from the greatest teacher. And imagine how blessed Arjuna was to get the teaching straight from Krishna's mouth. And why did Krishna choose Arjuna for giving this teaching? And this question, is a topic of hot debate. Several people give several reasons. Some people say, no, Arjuna was a friend, that is why he chose Arjuna. But from our perspective, the reason is very simple. Krishna gave the teaching to Arjuna because Arjuna asked for it. Everyone knew who Krishna was, what Krishna was. In fact, Krishna has revealed himself as an avatar on so many occasions. But no one, including Dharmaputra, ever said, Shishyasteham Shadimam Tvam Prapannam. Arjuna asked, Krishna gave. So because Arjuna understood the potential of Krishna, not only for winning the war, not only for being on the side of Arjuna to win this Kurukshetra war, but the potential of Krishna to teach, impart that knowledge, which will make Arjuna understand the whole, macro perspective, and also give him a very solid reason why he should perform his duty at this point in time of fighting this dharma yuddham and vanquish adharma. And as I said, seeking this teaching itself requires a lot of grace of the Lord. Because, if you look at it, there are hundreds of people who have attended public talks of teachers like Swami Chinmayanandaji, Puja Swamiji, etc. Every metro they have gone, even overseas they have gone and given public talks. But, only a handful of them approach these great teachers seeking this knowledge. And therefore, all those who seek this knowledge by fulfilling all the conditions required of a student are as glorious as Arjuna. And therefore, Pandavanam Dhananjaya hai. Krishna is great, so is Arjuna. He is also great. Then he says, Vyasacharya. Probably, when Vyasacharya wrote these verses, he might have felt, I have talked about Krishna's greatness, I have talked about Arjuna as glories of Lord. How can I leave out myself? Isn't it? That is not, conceit or, this pride. That is a recognition that, I have also contributed this Brahma Vidya that Krishna has taught, Arjuna has learned, but I am the author who actually put everything in writing. I am the one who has gone through all the Upanishads, taken out the Sara of the Upanishads, the essence of the Upanishads, and put it in Mahabharata as Bhagavad Gita, as Krishna's teaching. And therefore, Vyasacharya might have thought, I should not leave myself out. Of course, he doesn't say it himself. He says it through the words of Krishna. Says, Muninam aham Vyasa. Among the rishis, I am Vyasacharya. I am the glorious Vyasacharya. And why do we say that Vyasacharya is the greatest? Same reason as Krishna, who is the greatest avatara, because among all avatars, in Krishna avatara alone, he is Brahma Vidya Acharya. And Vyasa is the greatest rishi because Vyasa is also Brahma Vidya Acharya. In fact, he is one of the Brahma Vidya Acharya in the tradition. And not only that, among Prasthanatrayam, the foundation of the Granthas of Vedanta, which we just now discussed, one was Krishna's contribution. Another is contribution of Vyasacharya. Because Brahma Sutras, which is one of the foundation Granthas, is composed by Vyasacharya. And not only that, as I said, even in the compilation of Gita, Vyasacharya has a role. Krishna taught Arjuna all right. But whatever he taught, who actually absorbed those teachings and then put it down in form of words, beautiful words set to meter in the form of Bhagavad Gita, who compiled those teachings? It has been done by Vyasacharya. But for his effort, the world would not have gained the benefit of Krishna's teaching. It would have been a teaching between Krishna and Arjuna, and their matter would have ended. Therefore, the teaching is Krishna's, but the presentation is Vyasacharya's. So Vyasacharya's contribution is there in two prasthanams, Gita prasthanam and Brahma Sutra prasthanam. And that is why we have got great reverence for Vyasacharya. And we celebrate his avatara as Guru Purnima. So next to Krishna, Vyasacharya stands as the greatest Guru. And not only that, during Madhyanikam every day, that is the afternoon Sandhya Vandanam that we do, there is one Rishi Tarpanam which we have to do, where we offer oblations to all great rishis, starting from the great Vyasa Maharishi. In fact, Vyasacharya's original name was Krishna Dvaipayana. His name was Krishna, but then since those days there were so many Krishnas, everybody, dark complexioned people will be called Krishna. So in order to identify or denote Vyasacharya, the word Dvaipayana, because he was born in an island. Dweep means island. So Dvaipayana means one who is born in an island. That is the original name of Vyasacharya. So during Madhyanikam, when we offer oblation, we chant कृष्णद्वैपायन आदयोः ये ऋषयः तान् ऋषीन् तर्पयामि सर्वान् ऋषीन् तर्पयामि etc. And also in the annual Upakarma ritual, there is a special tarpanam called Kanda Rishi Tarpanam. There also we say Tan Rishi Gustarpayami. So through offering of all these oblations, I am expressing my gratitude to all the rishis, beginning with Vyasacharya or Krishna Dvaipayana. He is considered as the foremost of the rishis because we take only his name and not the name of any other rishis. All other rishis are, included in etc. Adayaha. Krishna Dvaipayana Adayoho, we say the Adayaha means all other rishis. Only his name is mentioned. And therefore Krishna says, among the munis, the rishis, I am Vyasaha. And he got the name Vyasa because he compiled and rearranged the Vedas also. So when he found that in the coming years it would be difficult for people to remember all the Vedas because of the progressive decline in the intellectual capacity, he called 4 disciples and he asked each disciple to preserve a particular Veda. And therefore this arrangement of Vedic preservation is also known by Vyasa. The word Vyas means to compile, to rearrange. And because of the compilation and arrangement of the Veda, he got the name Veda Vyasa. In fact, Veda Vyasa is a title. And Veda Vyasa got shortened to Vyasa. So Krishna says, Muninam aham Vyasaha. Then he says, Kavinam Ushana Kavihi. Among the greatest seers, those who can see all the 3 kalas, Trikala Darshis, Trikala Jnanis, I am Shukra Kavi. Ushana means Shukracharya. Shukracharya was the Asura Guru. And Shukracharya is a great rishi. So here the word Kavi does not mean a poet. Here Kavi means Krantadarshi, the one who is a visionary, a seer, someone gifted with profound, far-reaching insight. You can say the one who has got the ESP, extrasensory perception. And not only he can see the future, he can see the past also. Therefore, Krantadarshi. Kranta means that which is beyond the range of our sense organs, beyond the limit. And one who can see, that is Shukracharya. So Krishna says, Kavinam Ushana Kavihi. So the next set of glories. We will chant 38 sloka. You can unmute. Dando Damayatamasmi
दण्डोदमयतामस्मि
Nitirasmi Jigishatam
नीतिरश्मि
जिगीषताम्
Maunam
गीषताम्
Chaivasmi Guhyanam
मौनं
मौनं
चैवास्मि
चैवास्मि
गुह्यानाम्
गुह्यानाम्
Jnanam Jnanavatamaham.
ज्ञानं
ज्ञानवतामहम्
ज्ञानवतामहम्
So Asmi Dandaha Damayatam, Asmi Nitihi Jigishatam, Asmi Maunam Guhyanam Cha Eva Aham Jnanam Jnanavatam. Asmi Dandaha, I am the rod. Damayatam, of the punishers. Asmi Nitihi, I am diplomacy. Jigishatam, of those desirous of victory. Asmi Maunam, I am silence. Guhyanam, among the secrets. Cha eva, and Aham Jnanam, I am the wisdom. Jnanavatam, of the wise. So I am the rod of the punishers. I am diplomacy of those desirous of victory. I am silence among secrets. I am the wisdom of the wise. Dando damayatam asmi. So among the disciplinarians, among the causes for discipline or orderliness, I am dandaha. Dandaha means the rod of punishment. Because discipline can be caused by several methods. One method is requesting, appealing to kindly follow the rule. Another is educating so that the person follows because of understanding. And the third method is what? Danda, method of punishment. We say, spare the rod, spoil the child. So Krishna says generally people are immature. Generally people are childish. Generally people are gross. And therefore appeal, education, good words, they do not work. What works is the fear of punishment, which is symbolized by danda. In fact, our Shastras talk about a four-stage approach to to enforce discipline and compliance with the rules and regulations, and which are necessary for the orderliness in the society, Samadhana Beda Danda. And among them, Danda is the last one and the most powerful, which gives instantaneous result. And that's why parents in India, of course, I will not comment about the Western world, but I think generally in Asian society, often the method of corporal punishment only works using a punishment rod, beating. In schools also, the teachers used this earlier. When I was studying and all that, this was a very common practice. But of course, nowadays, I think that has been banned because they say it is highly damaging to the psyche of the child. Still, of course, there are difference of opinion. Many people are not happy banning it. Because they say if you do not use punishment, you require a lot of kshama, patience, using good words to change the child's behavior. But one beating serves the purpose, even the fear of beating serves the purpose. Of course, don't think I am justifying beating or but that is how human psychology works. In fact, I remember my father used to have one stick. He has never used it, but he will always show the stick when he wants to discipline us, me and my brother. And the same thing I did with my kids also. Once I went to Masuri and I bought one nice stick from there, and that was called Masuri stick. And then whenever the child, misbehaves, I used to tell the child, do you want me to take out the Masuri stick? Immediately compliance will be ensured. So Krishna says, I am that punishing rod among the causes of discipline. Then nitihi asmi jigishatha. Among the causes of victory or among the victors, I am the victorious one. I am nitihi. Nitihi means diplomacy. This is from the standpoint of rulers or kings. For kings to be successful, diplomacy is very much needed. Even for us, especially in the corporate sector politics, diplomacy is a great asset. Diplomacy helps in preventing the burning the bridges because in life, and especially in politics, there is no permanent friend and no permanent enemy. Even in personal relationship, diplomacy helps in maintaining cordial relations with all. And the greatest success of diplomacy we just now saw in the signing of the Indo-US that free trade agreement. Many other countries either they succumb to the pressure from the US or they took a position which was retaliatory. But Indian government patiently, they never made any comment about the 50% tariffs, and patiently waited, kept on negotiating. And finally, diplomacy won. In fact, that diplomacy was not only restricted to the US. When US saw that India was going ahead and concluding agreements with so many other countries, and eventually they felt that probably US will be very bottom in the list, then immediately they also succumb to the pressure and announce the agreement. So diplomacy is the very important for everybody. Politicians, of course, politicians very important, but for everybody, even in our day-to-day transactions, niti is very important. Then maunam cha eva asmi guhyanam. Among all the secrets, I am maunam. Maunam is the greatest secret because what is a secret? That which is known only to you or just a few persons. And normally, secrets are compromised by opening the mouth. Many people have this habit of bragging about things, without realizing that they are letting out some secrets. So the best way to keep secret is to keep quiet, observe silence. And therefore Krishna says, I am Maunam. And Maunam is a great virtue in Vedanta also, not because it is a secret knowledge, but Maunam also leads to a tranquil mind. In fact, Maunam is practiced as a sadhana by mumukshus. A tranquil mind can effortlessly and effectively dwell on the Vedantic teachings. And moreover, Maunam represents Brahman also. In Mandukya Upanishad, it is said, Amatra hai, Chaturtha hai, Avyavar hai. So in Vedanta, silence has meaning of Brahman because in silence, there is nothing except consciousness. Many people think that silence is a state in which nothing is there. They said this because they are ignorant about the ever-present and all-pervading consciousness. In silence, thoughts could be there, which is witnessed by consciousness. Even if thoughts are not there, still that nothingness is witnessed by consciousness. And therefore, in Mandukya Upanishad, Brahman is called silence. And therefore, we can understand Maunam as Brahman also. So Krishna says, I am Brahman among the secrets. And that is why, the title of 9th chapter of Gita itself was what? Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam. Guhyam, as we have seen, means secret. Then he says, Aham Jnanam Jnanavatam. Among the wise people or in the wise people, I am the wisdom. The glory of the wise people is because of the wisdom, and that wisdom belongs to the Lord. And therefore, when you do namaskara to a jnani, the namaskara does not go to that jnani, but it goes to the wisdom which makes a jnani. And that wisdom is what I am, Bhagavan says. And therefore, no genuine jnani accept namaskara for himself. And therefore, whenever anybody does namaskara, a jnani intelligently hands over the namaskara to the Lord because Lord is the wisdom. That's why, in Gurukulam also, whenever we do namaskaras to our acharyas or puja Swamiji, etc., they will not say bless you and all, they will just say Om. Means what? Your namaskara, I am passing it on to Bhagavan. Continuing, you can unmute. Yachapi sarva bhutanam
यच्चापि
यच्चापि
सर्वभूतानां
सर्वभूतानां
bijam tadaham arjuna
बीजं
बीजं
तदहमर्जुन
तदहमर्जुन
na tadasti vinayasya
न तदस्ति
तदस्ति
विनायस्य
विनायस्य अन्मया
sorry na tadasti vinayat
न
न
na
तदस्ति
tadasti
तदस्ति
विना
vinayasyat.
विनायस्य
विनायस्य
Sorry, I'm trying to split the word. Na
अन्-
tadasti vinayat.
न
न
तदस्ति
तदस्ति
विनायत्
विनायत्
One more word you have to
न
add. Na
न तद्
tadasti vinayat syat.
न तदस्ति विनायत् स्यात्
Maya bhutam characharam.
मया
मया
भूतं चराचरम्
चराचरम्
So there's word is there, yes, yatsyan maya. That is actually yat syat maya. Because of the sandhi, all those individual endings are they are vanishing. Okay. So Anvaya is, hey Arjuna, aham tat yatcha api bijam sarva bhutanam asti na tat bhutam chara acharam yatsyat vinamaya. Hey Arjuna, O Arjuna, aham tat, I am that. Yatcha api bijam, which is the seed. Sarva bhutanam, of all beings. Astina tad bhutam, there is no such being. Chara acharam, moving or stationary. Yat syat, which can exist. Maya vina, without me. So, O Arjuna, I am that which is the seed of all beings. There is no such being moving or stationary which can exist without me. Now, Krishna concludes the enumeration of his glories and says, in fact, hey Arjuna, I am the very seed or material cause of which the entire out of which the entire creation has emerged. I am the upadana karanam of the entire creation. Just as the clay is the material cause of all the earthenwares, just as gold is the material cause of all ornaments, just as wood is the material cause of all wooden furniture, I am the material cause of the entire creation. And the material cause always expresses in the effect in the form of the very existence. When you say an ornament is, the very isness or the existence does not belong to the ornament. The existence actually belongs to the gold alone. Ornament is nothing but nama and rupa. It is a non-substantial entity. And even when you say nama rupa is, that isness is also borrowed from gold alone. And that we can prove that by cognitively removing gold from the ornament, what will happen? The ornament will lose its existence. There won't be any ornament if you remove gold. And therefore, Krishna says, I am the material cause who lends existence to every product in the creation. And therefore, when you say the wall is, isness belongs to me. When you say fan is, isness belongs to me. In short, I am Sat in the creation. We must recall what he said in the beginning when he started to list out his glories. He said, Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarvabhutashaya Stitah. So there the word Atma means that I am the very consciousness in every being. Atma is Chit, consciousness. So first statement, beginning of glories, he said, I am the consciousness. And in the last statement of his glories also he says, I am the very existence. So I am Sat Chit Swarupa, obtaining in the entire creation. And therefore, Maya Vina, without my blessings, Yat Chara Acharam Bhutam Syat, Tat Na Asti. There is nothing in the creation, moving or stationary, which can exist without my blessing. Just as gold can say that there is no ornament in the creation, no golden ornament in the creation, which can exist without my blessing. Gold can say that. Similarly, Bhagavan says, I am the material cause without which nothing is there in the creation. Moving or unmoving, which can exist. And therefore, if somebody asks who is God, we say is God. What does that mean? Isness in everything is God. All others are Nama Rupa only. So, Yat Chara Acharam Bhutam Syat Maya Vinana Asti. There is nothing which can exist without me. Thus, he started with Chit and ended with Sat. And Sat and Chit are Nirguna Ishvara Vibhuti. And all others that he has listed out are Saguna Ishvara Vibhuti. And Saguna Ishvara Vibhuti means Mahima, glory. And Krishna continues 40th shloka. Nantosmi mama divyanam
नान्तोऽस्मि
मम
विद्यानां
विद्यानां
vibhutinam parantapa
विभूतीनां
विभूतीनां परन्तप
yeshat deshatah proktah
एष
एष
तोद्देशतः
प्रोक्तः
प्रोक्तः
vibhuter vistaro maya.
विभूतेर्विस्तरो मया
विभूतेर्विस्तरोमयोतमाम्
So, he parantapa asti na antah mama divyanam vibhutinam tu yesha vistarah vibhuteh proktah maya uddeshatah. He parantapa, O Arjuna, vanquisher of foes. Astina antaha, there is no limit. Mama divyanam vibhutinam, to my divine glories. Tu, however, yesha vistaraha, this detailed vibhutehe, glow of glories, proktaha maya, has been mentioned by me, uddeshataha, only as an illustration. So, O Arjuna, there is no limit to my divine glories. However, this detail of glories has been mentioned by me only as an illustration. So here Krishna says, Hey Arjuna, I have stopped the enumeration of my glories not because my glories have been exhausted. In fact, if I have to enumerate all my glories, the list is inexhaustible. I can then never complete the 10th chapter. Time is running out. And therefore, my intention was only to give you a few sample glories. And therefore, do not think that this is an exhaustive list. Therefore, Krishna says, Antaha mama divyanam vibhutinam na asti. There is no end to my divine glories. It can never be exhausted by me. Hey Parantapa, hey Arjuna. So what is that you have been enumerating till now? Krishna says, Yeshaha tu uddeshatah proktah vibhuteha vistarah maya. This enumeration of my glories is only a sample, a random sample. In fact, when you go shopping, especially for dresses and among them for saris especially. There will be a showcase in front of the shop where some attractive saris will be displayed. That does not mean that they are the only saris available for sale in the shop. In fact, they would have displayed about 10 saris or 15 saris, but the shop will have more than 10,000 saris for sale. So Krishna says, similarly, the enumeration is given by me is uddeshataha, as a random sample, as an illustration, to increase my footfalls for Bhagavad Gita learning. That's what the showcases are, isn't it? People get attracted and then enter the shop to make the purchase. Then how do we come to know all your glories and add to the list? Krishna says, I will tell you the method of extending the list. And therefore, you can yourself continue to do this exercise as a homework. Of course, even otherwise, 10th chapter must be continued at home by you yourself. How to do that? He says in the next shloka. Yad yad vibhuti matsatvam
यद्यद्विभूतिमत्सत्त्वम्
Srimat urjitameva va
श्रीमद्दूर्जितमेव
tattadevavagachatvam
तत्तदेव
तदेवाधिगच्छत्तम्
mama tejosha
मम
amsha
तेजोषसम्भवम्
sambhavam. One dot is missing. Amsha sambhavam. Mama tejomsha sambhavam.
मम तेजोषसम्भवम्
Yat yat sattvam vibhutim Srimat va urjitam tvam avagaccha tattat eva mama tejaha amsha sambhavam. Yat yat sattvam, whatever being is there, whatever is existing, vibhutim, which is glorious, Srimat, rich, va urjitam, or powerful, tvam avagaccha, may you recognize, tattat eva, those, mama teja amsha sambhavam, to be born out of my personal splendor. They are my glories. So whatever being is there, whatever is existing, which is glorious, rich or powerful, may you recognize that to be born out of a person, out of my splendor, out of my glories. So Krishna says that you need not restrict yourself to this 10th chapter. You can make your own list. So when you are confronting various things and beings in the creation, if you see anything that is wonderful, which makes you wonderstruck, any such glorious living being or even inert things, because they talk about wonders of the universe, no, 7 wonders, 8 wonders, they give a list. Anything natural or artificial, anything that you see vibhuti mat, glorious, which makes your mouth open, which makes you awestruck, whatever it is, it may be the minutest of the insect or the greatest mountain. Yat yat srimat, whichever is rich and abundant. Abundance means what is most valuable, like an invaluable diamond. We read in the news, suddenly they discover and say that this is the largest diamond, or discover a huge oil field under the ocean. All such invaluable things, va urjidam, or anything powerful like the energy of the sun, which has been giving energy for us for millions of years. Imagine if you have to light up the entire earth for 12 hours with some electric power. Even for the day, even for the day-night matches, how much electricity money they have to spend. And sun has been doing that for millions of years, and still it continues to be the reservoir of energy. Therefore, you take the sun, you take the stars, you take lightning, you take waterfalls, which are all powerful. So anything and everything beautiful, powerful, invaluable, unique, attractive, you can add all of them to the list. And Krishna says, whenever you see them, remember me. And this is the indication of a religious person. A religious person, whenever he sees an extraordinary thing, he does namaskaram to that. And even if he discovers some such thing, something invaluable, he will never keep it. In fact, in the olden days, he would hand it over to the temple. Anything extraordinary that I find, I give it to the temple because I see the Lord in that. Therefore, Krishna says, Tat tat tvam avagacha, may you understand that those extraordinary, powerful, rich things or beings is only a part or a wee bit of my infinitesimal glory. Mama tejaha amsha sambhavam. Tejaha means mahima. Amsha means a part, a speck of my vibhuti. Then Krishna concludes. I think I will take a few more minutes. Atava bahunaitina
अथवा बहुतेन
बहुतेन
kim ज्ञातेन tava arjuna
किं
ज्ञातेन
ज्ञातेन
तव
Arjuna
vishtabhyahamidam krishnam
Vishtabhyaham
विष्टभ्याहमिदं कृष्णम्
Krishnam
ekanshena stito jagat.
एकांशेन
Ekanshena
स्थितो जगत्
Jagata.
The Anvaya is Atava Kim Tava Jnatena Bahuna Etena. Hey Arjuna, Aham Stitah Vishtabhya Idam Krishnam Jagat Eka Amshena. Atava or Kim Tava, what use do you have? Jnatena by knowing. Bahuna Etena, all these. Hey Arjuna, O Arjuna. Aham Stitah, I remain Vishtabhya supporting. Idam Krishnam Jagate, this entire universe, Eka Amshena, with a part of mine. So Krishna is concluding, says, Arjuna, or what is the use do you have by knowing all these? I remain supporting this entire universe with a part of me, part of mine. So here Krishna says, hey Arjuna, you can look at the whole thing in a different perspective also. So previously, to give an example, suppose I say water is present in every wave. Water is present in every bubble. Water is present in every drop. This is one way of looking at water. Or there is another way. Hey Arjuna, it is not that the water is in the wave or water is in the bubble or every drop. Really speaking, all waves, all bubbles, all drops are in water. And therefore, instead of saying I am in the creation, I would like to reverse it and say the whole creation is in me. And therefore, he says, Atava, otherwise, to put it in a different way, Bahunam etena gyatena kim. What is the use of this elaborate enumeration? I am the mountain, I am intelligent people, I am Ganga, Yamuna, etc. It's all a waste of time and effort. I will tire only my low vocal cords. And instead of saying I am in everything, I would like to say everything is in me. So aham idam krishnam jagat vishtabhyastitah. In fact, I remain supporting the entire creation, or the entire creation is in me. So if we say space is within the hall, that is not a completely correct statement. The correct statement would be all halls are in space. So similarly, Bhagavan is not in the living beings, but all living beings are in Bhagavan. And that too, they do not occupy the whole Bhagavan. I am only sustaining them in one corner, one part of mine. Eka amshena. So the whole cosmos is only occupying a part of me. So you can imagine how big I am. The whole cosmos is like a bubble in me. With this, Krishna concludes the description of his glories. Om Tat Sate iti Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishatsu Brahmavidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishnarjuna Samvade Vibhuti Yogo Nama Dashamodhyayah. Thus, in the Upanishad sung by the Lord, the science of Brahman, the scripture of yoga, the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna ends. The 10th chapter entitled The Yoga of Divine Glories. That is the completion. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti
Shanti
Shanti
Shanti
Harihi Om
Om
Shri
Shri
Gurubhyo
Gurubhyo
Namaha
Namaha
Harihi
Harihi
Om.
Om.
Dhanyawad everyone. Thank you very
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
much.
ಗುರುಜಿ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
Next week we will see the summary.
Thank you.
Okay.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಗುರುಜಿ
Take it 5 more minutes, 5-6 minutes more. Please bear with me.
Yes.
I wanted to complete the chapter, so that is why.
Excellent.
Okay.
I wanted to know from the previous chapter this clarification on the Gayatri, Shrauta Gayatri and Smarta Gayatri.
Mhm.
What I missed that. The difference between two or who?
Yeah, Shrauta Gayatri is the Gayatri which is there in the Vedas. In fact, you can find it in all three Vedas, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, and Sama Veda.
Mhm.
In order to chant Shrauta Gayatri, you have to be initiated into the Gayatri, which is by Brahmopatesham, Upanayanam ceremony.
Mhm.
So, only those people are eligible to learn, the people who are eligible to learn the Vedas, they can chant Shrauta Gayatri. So, that doesn't mean, because if you look at it, out of the 4 Varnas, 3 Varnas are supposed to be Dvijas.
Mhm.
And they are supposed to have undergone the Upanayanam and also Brahmopatesham. So they can chant. But what about women folk? What about the 4th Varna, Shudras? They cannot chant. So there is a alternate Gayatri which is called Smarta Gayatri, which is available in the Smritis. For that, there is no qualification required. Anybody can chant that. Even people who are qualified to chant the Shrauta Gayatri can chant Smarta Gayatri. Essence of both the Gayatri mantras are the same. Right? So the meaning wise doesn't change. Both are prayers to Surya Bhagavan to enlighten, to brighten my intellect. So that is why the rules are that, you can actually, one route to do PhD is you go through BSc, MSc, or and etc. Go to PhD. But then there is another route. You don't need to do all these things. You can directly go to PhD. Like that, you can go to directly Smarta Gayatri, which is Yo Deva Savita Smakam Dhyo Dharmadi Gocharaha Prereyastasya Yadbhargat Tatvarenyam Upasmahe. Meaning is absolutely same. But that is can be chanted by everybody. So these are the two types of Gayatris which are available in our scriptures.
Thank you. Got it.
Does that clarify your doubt?
Yeah, got it. Clarified. Thank you.
Raghuji,
Hey, yes, Ramuji.
I would like to share one information with your permission.
Yes, please go ahead.
Swami Paramarthananda has recently concluded the Bhagavad Gita series after
Yeah.
6 years.
Yeah. No,
So he has recently, for 2 days back, he has started uploading the recorded class. Every week, one class will be uploaded.
Okay.
That anybody can listen from the Yoga Malika website
Okay.
freely.
Okay.
And one recording will be available for 15 days.
Okay.
So
All
anybody
of you
can,
note, those who are listening can note.
you can send a note also to anybody who is interested.
Yeah. Why don't you?
Yeah, please send a link. Yeah.
Why
One
don't
link will
you
do.
send a
Okay,
note
Yoga Malika.
in the group itself, Ramuji.
Yeah.
If you cannot, I hope you have access to the group. Otherwise,
No, I don't have access. I will send the link to you. You can send it.
yeah, you send it to me and I will send it to everybody. Yeah.
Okay. It's available for 15 days.
Yeah.
Already 2 days are over now.
Yeah.
They
But
usually
you have to
upload.
only listen. I think Yoga Malika you cannot download, isn't it?
Now nobody can download it.
Nobody can download. You can just listen.
Now it is available for free listening for 15 days.
Okay.
For like other 8 audios.
Right.
This will be one of the other audios. Swamiji will not be speaking. The whole recorded class he will be broadcasting for 6 years.
Okay.
That's
So
information.
that will probably take
I'll send the link. Okay.
Okay. Hari Om. Thank you.
And that will be the latest because the
Yeah,
old
that is
cassettes,
latest. That is
that
true.
was some 20 years back.
Yeah.
So now
That
it
is
will be the latest examples and all will be
New
quoting.
examples and all will be there. Correct. Very true.
Okay, that's the only thing I wanted to tell you.
Okay. Hari
Okay,
Om.
ji, thank you.
Thank you. Hari Om. Hari Om. Any other questions?
Thank
Thank
you
you,
very much.
Guruji. Hari Om Namaste,
Hari
Guruji.
Om.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Pranam.
So next week we will see the summary and then go to the
Guruji, it is not only the Hindus who appreciate the value of Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
There are other religions also who are appreciating that.
That is true.
That is the best part.
This is not a Hindu scripture, politically people make it a Hindu scripture.
True.
It is a human scripture for human beings' conduct and behavior and progress, spiritual progress,
True.
And not only spiritual, even material progress also. The messages are very clear, rather, right? So that is why it is a universal text, rather, for applicable to everybody.
True.
That's why Vyasacharya, Krishna are great. Okay.
Thank you very much, Guruji.
Hari Om.
Namaskaram.
Thank you all.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
Hari Om.
Guruji. Hari Om.
Hari Om.